As a real estate agent, I hear from a lot of clients that they are getting ready to buy a home. And I thought I would get together with my favorite lender, Kelly Zitlow, with the Kelly Zitlow Group, and talk about what does it mean to get ready.
Yeah.
A lot of people think they need to get ready, and maybe they're already ready.
We actually find that a lot.
Yeah.
So, because I think the process can be confusing because you don't know what you don't know, especially if this is your first time going through the home buying process.
Right.
And so some of the myths, how about we debunk
Myths. I like that.
So some of the myths that we often debunk, if you will, and we educate around, and that is down payment.
Right. They're saving for their down payment. And I often wonder, well, or I'll ask, how much are you saving for the down payment?
Yeah.
Right.
And it's some number that they think, or maybe they heard.
Or percentage, like 20%
Yeah.
down.
Or,
Yeah.
a parent said something to them. So that's the number that they're saving for. But in reality, there are so many low down payment mortgages available in our country today. There are down payment assistance programs available. So depending on where somebody is in the ready to buy mode, they might already be ready because they might have 3% down. They might have 5% already, and they thought they weren't ready because they needed 20. So I think debunking that myth that you have to have a very large down payment is one thing. Absolutely, we got to get out there.
Right. Or maybe thinking that down payment assistance is just for low income. We actually found out that's not true. There's all different kinds of varying criteria for down payment assistance, right?
Yes, there's so many programs and they all vary. So, talking, I think the first step is just finding an experienced mortgage lender that you connect with and starting the conversation. That's all. It doesn't have to be kind of a big commitment, but let them ask you questions. You ask your questions. That's a great place to start because then you're going to be able to start to get comfortable. Now, what are the next steps in the process? So when we have that initial conversation here in my group, as you know, we're just getting to know each other.
Right.
What is your goals? Are you renting now, or are you staying with family or friends? How much are you paying in rents? Are you on a month to month? Is it a lease? Because all of this information goes into the strategy that we end up walking our buyers through.
Right.
Do you have any money set aside for down payment? And there's so many stories.
Right.
So I think it's just
where their number might be this, but then after having a talk with you or getting pre-qualified, they know, well, the number is actually this. And then it's maybe you aren't ready, but maybe you're closer than what you're actually thinking.
Yeah.
In your mind.
A mortgage lender tell you that.
Right.
And to say, hey, right now, here's some advice on how you can get mortgage ready. Or maybe you are mortgage ready.
Right.
So
the other thing that people say when they tell me, well, I'm getting ready to buy a house, is they talk about credit. Like, I got to pay my debt down. I've got some collections I need to take care of first. So let's talk about credit a little bit.
Oh, man, this is a loaded one. It is important to know that when you go through the home buying process and a mortgage company pulls your credit, it is completely a different algorithm or scoring model, if you will, than if you're monitoring your own credit score. So first and foremost, just know that it's a different type of credit report version that lenders are pulling. I share that because initially, and I actually share this like in the first conversation, because I think people come into the conversation going, well, I know I have a 680 credit score. So we need to walk through that. They may see a 680, but when the lender pulls their credit report, they may see a 667 or a 690. There's going to be some variability to the actual score. But outside of that, if you want to buy a house within, let's say, a 6-month period, and you have collections, or that there's things out there that you want to take care of, do not do anything until you talk with a mortgage lender.
Right.
They toll your credit. They can help you get a game plan on what to pay, when to pay it, the process, etc. Because a lot of people don't realize that you can have a perfect payment history. No 30-day late payments at all. And then maybe in your apartment, your APS goes to collections by accident. And you're just like, I know I have great credit because I pay everything on time. I'm just going to pay it. That one collection depending on the time frame of when the mortgage credit report is going to be pulled in the collection. And it's not just when the collection went on, but it's the payment of the collection that can drop your credit score dramatically. So there's strategies around how to kind of just deal with that one scenario, and there's 1,000 scenarios.
Right.
So credit is an important piece of the home loan process. Every loan program has a different credit threshold. And again, just talking with a seasoned mortgage professional that can intake the information and then start to drill down on the types of programs that might be best and why, and then get the credit strategy in place.
Yeah, that makes sense. So the other thing I hear is, well, I'm getting ready, but also, rates are just too high. It's just a bad time to buy. But you know what I know, which is in the builder construction market, rates are not too high. There's a lot of incentives out there. So tell us kind of how this works with the builders and how they're able to offer lower rates than maybe a traditional lender might be able to offer.
I think it's a historic time, especially in the new home build market, because builders have been for the last couple of years essentially spending money to buy that interest rate down so they can bring affordability to their buyers and sell their homes. They have to sell these homes. So, it's different than a traditional seller. Sellers can do the same thing. So if you're selling your home or I'm selling my home, we could do the same thing, but not to the extent that the home builders can do. And so I think that if you are interested in buying a home, maybe this is your first home, maybe it's not, maybe it's a second, third, fifth, sixth home, and you think you want to buy a new home, a brand new built home, there is no time than like right now, because this too shall pass. They're not going to continue to do this forever. They're doing it because market conditions need them to do it.
Right.
But it's not the long game, that's for sure.
Right. Certainly when interest rates do come down and on resale, then that's going to change the game for the new construction market too.
Right, because there's going to be more competition now.
Exactly.
Right. So that's one variable. I think the other thing that is maybe relevant to speak about to this topic of I'm going to wait until interest rates drop in order to buy, realize that the market itself, the real estate market itself, it's very cyclical and it's very driven by supply and demand.
Right.
So right now, if there's not a lot of buyer demand, then it would be more of a buyer's market. But when interest rates drop really low, like they did because of the pandemic, so this was not a normal market. It's very important to think, if you ever think rates are going back to 2.5% on a 30-year fixed rate, no, likely not. Unless there's a global something, pandemic, war, bad things. Right. That's where you would see interest rates potentially ever get that low again. But when rates did get that low in 2020, 21, and early 22, it was very difficult for buyers to actually seize the opportunity of that type of rate.
Right. Especially when it comes to new construction. So thinking back at that time, just to even, get in to see a model home was a big deal. And you had to get into lottery, and you had to even, some builders, you had to get pre-qualified to even look at a model.
Yeah.
And then some people didn't even get the house that they wanted because the rates were so low and people were going crazy and the demand was so high. Yes. So now it's just like, if you want a new construction home, and y'all know why I love new construction homes, all the reasons, but this is the window to get this opportunity with the low rate that we had back during those times. Or close. Not maybe quite as low.
Close to it. Obviously, it's all going to vary. And every builder has, some different promotion that they run.
Right.
Sometimes they're only for specific properties.
Typically.
Sometimes, mostly for spec homes, not.
Right. For the quick move-in homes that are available now. So on the longer build, there's still going to be some opportunities, some deals, and even some rate incentives. But it won't be to the level of the homes that are ready now. Right. So, well, thank you so much, Kelly, for getting together and sharing this valuable insight. And if you have more questions, be sure and give me a call at 480-789-0794. I'd love to take you out to the models in the East Valley at any of the new development communities. There are a ton of them. And so I'd love to help connect you with the one that's perfect for you and your lifestyle.
Thanks for having me, Chey.
Thanks.